Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I had to take a wee day off. I'm still gubbed. Take a wee day off yesterday, down to the fact that why am I struggling to talk? What is happening? Just to try and recover from the celebrations post quadruple treble winners. Look, it was a fantastic day on Sunday for the fact that we did manage to secure what is now history. We just keep making history, and we hope it can kind of spur us on now to go and make more history come the end of the season. But there's still a long path to walk. Still a long road, and I'm still not filled with confidence that we're quite there yet. Is it a massive papering over the cracks? We'll talk about it all leading up to tomorrow night's game against Ross County. Let's get the intro done and out the way. Very quickly before the video begins, check out the top line of the description and you can go and download the OneFootball app. The OneFootball app will give you everything you need to know ahead of the fixtures over the Christmas period. You know, we're flying in fast with games here, up here and in England, everywhere else, so keep up with everywhere, every league around the world, and keep up with news, stats, everything as it happens. Top line of the description, download it through my link and you'll be doing myself a favour. So that's that for you. Go and check it out now. Also, a big thank you to everybody who gave me kind words for my appearance on Sports Scene on Sunday night. I didn't say anything about it, I just kind of left it as a surprise. And you know, I could have easily said, oh, I'm going to be in Sports Scene, go watch it back. But thank you to everybody who did watch it and said nice things about it. And thank you to the guys who gave me the opportunity to be on Sports Scene, Stephen and Stephen. That was quite a weird thing to say, Stephen and Stephen. But thank you to you guys who gave me the call to be on. And it was really fun. I enjoyed watching it back. It was the first of many, I hope, but it was nice. It was a good wee change to do something a bit more formal than YouTube. But thank you to everybody who gave me kind words. Right, so Ross County is who we play tomorrow night. We are heading back to Celtic Park to play them in the league. A midweek fixture. Not great, not ideal, considering we had to play 120 minutes and penalties on Sunday against Hearts there. It could be a lot better. You know, we should have had the game done in 90. We had it done in 45, it was looking like, and then we you know, defensively capitulated once more within the second half. And look, we'll talk about all of that, but the achievement itself, I've not really had the time to sit down and talk about it. And I wanted to make a video specifically designated and that, you know, goes around that itself. I never got quite down to it before previewing tomorrow's game, and we will talk about it. I imagine it'll be spoke about in the podcast, and we'll come back one day and we'll all have memories. We'll remember this as a cup final we couldn't be at. You know, a very big difference for everybody. You know, usually I'm there in the stadium, in the ground, cheering my team on, but this time in the house wasn't quite the same. So it's mad. It's something that we'll always look back on very fondly. Neil Lennon winning his treble, us winning our 4th straight treble. It was a memorable day, to say the least. Now, on to the performance itself. Look, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't. I mean, the first 45 was. First 45 was brilliant, and it was that same feeling we got from that first 45 that I did against Aberdeen, the first 45 against them in the semi-final. You know, everything looked perfect from back to front. We looked really, really good. We dominated the game. We were genuinely cruising it. I couldn't imagine a world where in the second half we'd do what happened. But it's the story of Celtic this season. We're just not good enough at the minute. Defensively, we are shambolic. Shipping 3 goals to a championship side. And yes, it's a championship side. It's very much a premiership squad. That squad is really good. It should not be in the championship. And I understand that, but 3 goals to a championship side in a cup final where you're leading 2-0 at half time is unbelievable. It's shambolic. Shane Duffy once again showing the flaws in his game. I don't think any defenders were perfect. If anybody was good out of them, it was Christopher Ayer who started the game on that right hand side. I think tactically Neil Lennon was all over the place once they scored their first goal, and well, not just Neil Lennon, the team of course too. I think we were all over the place. They kind of rocked us with that early second half goal, and then the substitutions, I thought they were all over the place, to be quite honest. I think there was a lot more simple things Neil Lennon could have done to change the game, and we took our time in doing so, and we nearly paid for it. You know, that could have been very different on Sunday. You know, imagine we were sitting here after losing to Hearts on penalties, after being 2-0 up in the game, and then after being 3-2 up. How many Celtic sides would have done that in a cup final? You look at Brendan Rodgers' teams, and you look at teams even beforehand, that would never have happened. Never have happened. Being 2-0 up in the final, bottling it, and then being 3-2 up in extra time, and once again bottling it. Unbelievable. It's, you know, it should never be happening for a team like Celtic, and yet it did. So a lot of question marks still there, and the question now is, will we go on now to get punished against Rangers and other league games? Will our defensive inability once more show through? There's so many questions to come from that, and just because we've won the trophy and because we've got this magnificent achievement, we can't just bypass that now, because that's worrying. The 3 goals we shipped were unbelievable. Every time Hearts had a set piece, I genuinely thought they were going to score, and there was a couple of opportunities they could have scored and they didn't from set pieces. It's I don't know what it is. It's some mentality issue at this point that we just can't defend a set piece. I don't know what we're doing in the training grounds, but it's just beyond a joke, and it's worrying. It's worrying for playing a team tomorrow night who have already beat us in the past month. It's worrying for playing Rangers, who are flying at the top of the table and very good at set pieces, with a player like Tavernier who can send the ball in. Look, there was a lot of positives from the game on Sunday, don't get me wrong, the main one being that we won the game, but these issues are going to be issues that are going to stop us from going to win 10 in a row. And a lot of people already believe 10 in a row is gone. If we keep playing like that, like we did on Sunday, there's no hope in hell. Ross County find themselves in a very, very weird place going into this game. Of course, if you've not seen it, then, you know, Kettlewell was sacked directly after his game on Saturday. He was interviewed and everything. It was honestly quite a spectacle. I've never seen it before. You know, he came into the interview and he told the press that he'd been sacked. He was speaking about it openly, and fair play to him. What a height of, you know, professionalism to go out there and speak the way he did. And it's weird for Ross County because it was only a month or 2 ago they were knocking Celtic out the cup. You know, they were virgin and they were sitting 7th or 8th in the league. They weren't doing too bad, and Kettlewell would have looked untouchable, I would say. And now he's gone. Ross County have appointed John Hughes as manager, which is a good option. I think that's a very solid. I think he'll definitely keep them up. I know I predicted at the start of the season Ross County to go down, and right now it's looking like they are a team who could go down. I think John Hughes will keep them up. But you know, they're a very weird situation now, whereas a month ago it was a very different complexion. So it's weird, and I don't know what quite to expect now from Ross County. I don't know. It's hard to predict what John Hughes is going to do. If I've learned anything from John Hughes in the past, he's a very smart manager. I think he'll come to Celtic Park with a game plan and he'll execute it well, whether it's defensive or try and go for the game. Ross County have been here and they've done it. And they just need to repeat that. But now is not the time for Celtic to drop points. You know, they beat us in the cup, they knocked us out the cup, fair enough. If we drop points tomorrow night, it's all but over. And I think that's the case now for every game until we start closing that gap down on Rangers. And it's all very well and good saying Rangers got beat off St Mirren and they looked a bit iffy against Motherwell. You know, they were behind for 70 minutes in the game. The reality is, I don't see them dropping many more points anytime soon. And if we don't start to close that gap now, and the gap was to only get bigger, I think it's a mountain that we're never going to climb. And the game on January 2nd will determine a lot of whether or not we can climb that mountain. But tomorrow night is vital we go out there, and they've got good players, so we know they can do damage. And I think, you know, the players like Duffy and Brown, even though I don't think we'll talk about team selection in a minute, but players like them, they really need to sharpen up. They really need to wake up at set pieces. And look, it's all it does is identify where we need to strengthen in January, of course. But for now, until that point, we can sign players. These players need to wake up. It's unacceptable. You know, it's not professional. First of all, you know, these are players playing for Celtic Football Club, and the way they're defending, it's Highland Lowland League quality. And I feel like that's quite offensive to the Highland and Lowland League, the way we've been defending at times. They really need to take the fingers out. They need to watch the game. They need to scan the game. John Collins scanning. They've got to do all these different things to make it an acceptable level of defending that we've just been missing out. It's shambolic, it's unorganised. There's too many adjectives I could use to describe us defending. So Ross County know exactly what they should do. They can repeat what they've done again all they like, because I'm not filled with confidence coming off the back of a cup final. We'll play 120 minutes that we will go out here and we're not going to snot them by any means, not a chance. You know, if we win, I don't think it's going to be a 3-4-0, which over the past few years you would expect at Celtic Park against Ross County. You'd expect to go and see 3 or 4 goals from us. It's not going to be like that. If we win 1-2-0 maybe, and that's saying keeping a clean sheet. Will we keep a clean sheet? Ross County know what to do. It's going to be a tough game, and I'm not 100% confident we'll win. I don't mean to be Mr. Negative, and I don't want people to go, oh, come on man, we've just won a cup and you're saying you're not confident. It's all these different factors, the poor defending, the fact we've played 120 minutes, Ross County under a new manager, want a fresh start, all these different things are going to add up to make it a tough game. So I'm not going to sit here by any means and say we're guaranteed a win tomorrow night, because it's simply not the case. Right, team selection. Apparently Shane Duffy and Scott Brown have major doubts for tomorrow's game, which means Sorrow should be back in the fold. Of course, he did come off the bench on Sunday to play some time. How cute is he? Just how adorable is he? The photo with the Scottish Cup. It makes me it makes me whole. You know, it's like Lustig, make me whole again. Brilliant. So Sorrow and Turnbull should be the ones in the middle of the park. I think we've accepted that. I don't see why we wouldn't have them in the middle of the park if Brown was even fit. Brown got his cup final, and Lennon said he was going to play him in the cup final. We all knew that was coming. But Sorrow rightfully has to come back into the team now. From back to front, I think Hazard must remain in goals for now. I'm not saying that that's the story for the rest of the season. Like, what a moment for him. Well done, Connor Hazard. Enjoy it, man. And I hope he has a big future at Celtic. But for the rest of this season, I do still believe we need to go and invest money in a goalkeeper in January. He still looked a bit shaky, of course. Every time a cross came in, he looked a bit tedious. And we need someone who's going to be able to bring confidence to the back line, and I don't know if that's quite him yet. So Hazard in goals anyway. I think left back would bring Laxalt back into the first team. I think right back, you've got to have Frimpong in there if Duffy's a doubt, because it's got to be Duffy and Julian surely at the centre half positions. As I said, Sorrow and McGregor back there with Turnbull ahead of them. That's what I'd like to see. El Yunusi out left, Christie out right, Edouard up front. I think it's a team that kind of picks itself at the minute. Edouard, of course, disrespecting his old teammate Craig Gordon. Nonsense. He needs to score some goals for us over the next few weeks, big few weeks for Celtic. We need to start building momentum for the derby now. We need to start getting wins under our belt, getting points under our belt, so that we go into this game in a better position than what we would have been, you know, if we played this game a month ago. Rangers could have done what we done to them a few years ago and embarrassed them. And you know, we need to get a big win here. We need goals, we need confidence on our side. So that's the team I would go with. And as for my score prediction, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to say 2-1 Celtic. I don't expect too much, but it would be nice. It'd be reassuring if we could go out and score a few goals and keep a clean sheet tomorrow. But it's a difficult week following on from that cup final. A lot of momentum we'll carry on from though. So let's hope we can do that. Anyway, that's my predictions and my thoughts towards the game tomorrow night. I still feel hungover, man. I don't know how, but if I've been talking a bit off, then I do apologise. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.